So yeah, guys, if you clicked on the title of this video, this is Ark Survival Evolved Episode 2. This was kind of emotional for me, I'm gonna be honest, because later we end up losing everything, and I don't want to spoil what happens, but I don't die, but some other things do, and that's kind of sad to me. The bit of the background footage that you're seeing is my revenge arc. I'm not even joking. This is what I did. I just did a revenge arc. But anyway, let's get right into what happened in this play session for Ark Survival Ascended. So, as you might expect, it started off the exact way it ended in last video. I loaded in and just kind of like looked around to see what I should do, and knowing that I should probably get going and not also wanting to be stranded on that island, I decided to move while also being careful for leviathans and megalodons. And what this one decision at the beginning ended up being the biggest mistake I could have ever made, because this is how everything that I have made so far ended up burning in flames. And yeah, it was just incredibly sad. But anyway, now when I got back onto this island, I decided I should look for a Parasaurolophus, just because, that's what you do when you're in Ark. You look for a Parasaurolophus. And as I was looking, I saw this Pteranodon, and I thought maybe I should get this because then I could fly, but I knew I was nowhere near high enough level or had the correct tools needed to be able to get that Pteranodon. So I decided to just continue down the path of sand until I came across something, or hopefully a Pteranodon, worth taming. I decided eventually, after countless little bits of running, that maybe it would be best if I decided to go back, but for now, I'm going to mine some wood so I can have enough for so I can possibly get enough for a smithy, which I don't have the anagram right now, but I will later on. But I ended up deciding, like I said earlier, it's probably best if I just go back and use my skills to be able to get myself a bow and arrow, which definitely help out a lot, and maybe some hide armor, but that of course would take a kind of incredibly long time to be able to do. And so, like I said earlier, after collecting some stones, I'm gonna end up going back and trying to get that Pteranodon. I'll just mainly speed things up until something really interesting happens, which something will. So, as you can see, my Parasaurolophus has currently been tamed, and I named him Perry because why not? It's your first Parasaur, I mean, like, come on. And after a bit of struggling to figure out how to add a saddle, I eventually got the saddle to work. And now that the saddle was on, I went ahead and started bringing Perry back to my base, which would also prove to be a big event that would lead up to the complete climax of this video into the falling action. But as you can also see, my pickaxe is incredibly broken, which is it's not good. That's not good at all. So I need to fix that, and I do end up fixing it. And just for further reference, when events like what's about to happen again inside of this world, I'm going to make sure that I have my mic audio actually recorded, because I haven't recorded my mic audios for this video and the other one, because I wanted to try and keep it as consistent as possible for these actual voiceovers. But for further reference, I will be using legitimate mic audio and my mic audio that I will actually record when making videos in game. Now, I decided that's probably best to get to bring back the foundation from last video to try my luck at finishing building at least some sort of safe haven, because it is becoming nighttime and that would prove to be very, very bad. So to get everything on the boat, and again, as you can definitely tell by what I've been teasing, this does not end up good, so I will see you guys when that actually happens. Okay, so this is about the point where things start to go downhill, because quite literally, the exact moment I put my Parasaurolophus down on here, this little bird comes and picks up baby, my little dodo, and then drops him out of the sky. I quickly go to grab him and to try and see if I can salvage and possibly protect him by hiding him under Perry, which proved to be very bad, as this thing was literally dive bombing me at the moment. So I was hoping that maybe Perry could possibly help in this situation, as I tried, at least for the time being, to kill this bird, which was quite literally attacking me. And then Perry decided it would be a good idea to at least to try and attack, which was a very bad thing. And while I thought these things were gone, they were not gone. And in fact, they came back. They came back quick. And as I said, this is the beginning of the climax of the video where things really start to go downhill. I thought that would be a one-time occurrence and that maybe if I got to a place where I could get off the coast, these things would stop attacking me. So I tried my best to do that. Little did I know I would pretty much be locked in this position for the rest of my time with Perry, Baby, and Spitter, because the next moment Spitter fell off, and I could have kept going, but I decided to go back for Spitter, which was probably my biggest mistake, because imminently the seagull was catching back up to us, and I did not see this until it was too late, and it was pretty much right over my bow, which was incredibly bad for literally everything and that has been happening in the past little bit. And as I try and also keep him safe from the piranhas, and just really I'm trying to hold everything together that I have right now, so I don't lose all my progress. And realistically, looking back at this recording, I probably should have offloaded everything onto land because of all the seagulls and stuff. It would and also, I learned later on, seagulls don't just stop at you, they stop at literally everything else. After trying to decimate this piranha, this is really where the chaos begins, because that seagull I was talking about earlier, he's back. Luckily, I think I got him in a position where I can get him. I pull out my torch, because I think that that's the best way that I'm going to be able to kill it, is to just smack it with my torch. And as soon as I try this, it literally does nothing, and it does nothing. He dodged it, and then my little dodo died. And as Perry was going into the water to try and stop him, I tried to help Perry and keep him alive, and then immediately right after that happened, and I tried to place back down Baby because I wanted to have a good remorse for him. I forgot that there was piranhas, but by the time I realized that, it was too late, and now Perry was dead. And now I was thinking, I have no pets left, everything's gone, the only thing I have left is a unfertilized dodo egg. So even if I wanted to, I couldn't have Baby Junior because it was completely unfertilized and it would not work. But little did I know, searching back into the water to try and get my Parasaur saddle would come out a rising phoenix. Somehow, in all the chaos, Spitter had stayed in the water and had not tried under my boat and had not tried to do anything, causing him to quite literally survive the piranhas somehow and the bird. He is the only last remaining thing in my arsenal from day one. Which means now I'm going to be taking extra good care of him, and I decide it's best to maybe try and get everything back onto the raft and leave, so first I was going to try and get Spitter, which proved to legit not work at all, and it was a horrible decision, because I was going to try and move my boat around and then jump to get my Parasaur saddle, because I really wanted to try and salvage that while I still could. And unfortunately, Spitter decided it was the best in his best interest to just hop in the water and sit there. So I had to completely get my raft to turn it, or I had to get to the perfect point where I could select Spitter, hit his behaviors, get him back, and really at this point I was just completely in shambles, because everything that I had built up over the past day in this game had just got completely destroyed by a seagull. And I realized that the sun was rising back up, and I still wanted to try and get my Parasaurolophus saddle so I could maybe try and salvage what remained of my of my arsenal from day one, which does technically include Perry because he was there on day one. Even though this is episode 2, that was still technically day one because this is the first time that the sun had set, and that stinking seagull came back and he tried to attack Spitter, which in this moment I realized it was probably best to, if I wanted to keep Spitter alive and not have him die to a bunch of piranhas and such, I should not risk trying to get back my Parasaurolophus saddle, at least right now, and I should probably head to land, because and that would be the best decision for everything that I had built up, not wanting to lose it again. So I decide that it's probably time to rebuild, not to get a new dodo, but to try and find myself a new Parasaurolophus. I end up deciding to bring along Spitter with me because after looking up and seeing that sky, I realized how ominous and unforgiving the world of Ark is to its true full extent, and I decided it's time to just take things one step at a time from now on and not try to get everything to work at the exact same time, because the moment I did that is the moment when everything came crashing down on top of me. So, thinking that flame may keep away the seagulls, obviously it doesn't, I decided to go up to this tree and try and get some wood and thatch from it that I can use to possibly get a... Yeah, I don't really know what I was thinking with this. I think I just wanted to get wood. I don't even remember what I was doing here. But this ends up being my revenge story, where after unlocking some engrams and I do remember what I was going to do. I was going to get thatch stuff and possibly a spyglass, which I can't really get right now because I don't have a good access to crystal. So... no joke, immediately after I leave getting all my engrams so I can get my revenge stuff, including the gravestone, which I'm going to make in episode 3, because I don't make it in this episode, I craft a bow and some arrows to get more for my revenge, and immediately I start getting attacked by that bird again, but this time I'm prepared. This time I'm really going to hit it, and this time I will not miss. This time, for real, I'm not losing anything else. So I basically just ended up whipping out my torch and hitting it in the face with my torch and to get my revenge, because that's what I was originally going to do, and it did work, and it ended up just being dead on the ground. And with Spitter helping me with all of that, I was feeling pretty good again, but I think it's time we go to grinding session again, because that was pretty crazy. So here is grinding session time lapse. fully gotten revenge. I could still consider this my revenge arc, and now I am pretty much in a better state than I've ever been before in Ascended, at least for right now. I have started crafting a metal refiner. I have Pt.2, 2.0, and I am making my way to back to my base to try and get my next time I will try and get my Parasaurolophus saddle. But at this point I realized it is probably getting a little too late into this recording session. I know some people will record for like hours and hours and hours just so they can get the video to come out, but I didn't really record for multiple hours. So all in all, this session was about 45 minutes and 37 seconds of just constant recording. I have managed to split some of it in kind of in half. I know that there definitely is a lot more there's a bit more in time-wise that I still have, but those are mainly filled up by time lapses, which is how I make the videos. And next time the videos will be incredibly high, more high quality than ever. I go ahead, save my game here, go to settings because I really needed to do this thing for the outro. AKA orbital camera, because I didn't know how to do orbital camera before this, so this makes it good, and it'll hopefully work for further notice. But anyway, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. See you guys in a brand new video. Dino Man out.